We're live.
Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to Joey and Tracy.
The Paranormal Society show.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured that tonight, since I really don't have a topic, we could interview a witch.
Okay.
So, since she didn't stop by, figure we'll interview you. You are Wiccan.
Yep, I am Wiccan. Been Wiccan 7 years now, I think.
So, people aren't born Wiccan, they choose to become Wiccan.
Right. You're not born into it.
So, you're probably born
can't be
Catholic.
baptized Wiccan unless you do it yourself.
Probably born Catholic or something and realized it was a bunch of crap and found something better.
No, I was actually baptized Greek Orthodox when I was a baby.
They're Catholic.
They're more on the Protestant side. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. But they follow the same 10 Commandments, right?
I don't know.
Huh. I don't either. I was born Catholic. Went to Catholic school my whole life.
Huh.
But, instead of turning me Wiccan, it turned me against all religion. So what's it like? How has your life changed? What were you like before you became Wiccan versus what you are now?
I'm I think more spiritual. When I'm having good times or when I'm in a good mood, I'm more spiritual.
All right.
So, I'm in nature and animals. It's a nature-based religion, really. We do worship goddesses and gods. I worship Hecate, who's the goddess Hecate. I also worship the god Pan, because my background was raised as Greek, and they're Greek mythology. They're Greek gods. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, like Zeus and
Right.
And Aphrodite
Poseidon,
and Poseidon and Hercules.
They have different gods. Isis is the Egyptian god. Pan's a Greek god. Hecate's a Greek god. Just went blank. What's her name? Brigitte, she's a Celtic god. So there's all different gods,
Oh.
So.
But it's all pagan.
All pagan, yeah.
It all goes back to like the ancient Celts and like where the people that invented Christmas and stuff.
All Wiccans are pagan, but not all pagans are Wiccan.
Okay.
So.
Huh. And did you happen to choose this path maybe because of some of your other gifts?
No, the truth is one day there was like a little bit of things, One day there was a story about a nun. This is actually where I decided to start looking in different directions of what religion was for me.
Right.
And one day I remember there was a news story. I didn't put the chat in. One day there was a news story about a nun. She gave her whole life to God and the church, and she ends up dying by being gang raped by a bunch of punks and murdered. And I thought, how can there be a God that would let a woman who served him for 80 years die in such a way instead of dying in peace, and everybody says, oh, because the devil did it. It's like, so that's when I started thinking little things like that, Also, I actually read the Bible, and to me it was like kind of like a horror story reading the Bible, because everything was sacrificed as sheep. If you do not sacrifice this sheep, I want to taste its blood, and I just don't get it.
We read different Bibles.
No.
Because I could pretty much quote the Bible, but we're not going to get into that.
Right. So pretty much I saw, I don't think I believe in this anymore. And so I started looking at different avenues, and one day I came across some Ning site.
The dog's licking my nuts.
One day I came across a Ning site, and seen a site about Wiccan and witches and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, so I joined it. And that's all it wrote. I mean, that was it for me. I started reading all this stuff, and then I decided I didn't want to be a certain Wiccan. I didn't want to be Dianic, strictly Wiccan, or Celtic Wiccan, or Kitchen Witch, or Green Witch. I decided to become a solitary eclectic witch.
So when I hear solitary eclectic, that kind of, to me, sounds like I know you've studied the religion and all.
Oh, I
So
don't know
basically,
everything about it.
no,
but,
you don't know everything about it, but what you do is you take what you like from different subgenres, I guess you'd call it,
Yes.
and you apply it to your own life and try to be the best person you can.
Right. Like I take a little bit of Dianic that I believe in, a little bit of Celtic, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and put it into what I believe in, which is an eclectic
Yeah, and because eclectic means
variety.
a little of this, a little of that, and
you know.
hodgepodge.
Right.
Right.
So that's what I do. Most Wiccans believe in reincarnation. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. When you're dead, you're dead.
Right. I believe going to Summerland, but I don't believe I'm going to come back. I believe I'm going to stay up in Summerland.
But that's kind of messed up because you believe because you're Wiccan and there's a Summerland somewhere for a certain group of witches, right? So when you kick the bucket, you're going to go to Summerland.
Right.
Where am I going to go?
Wherever you believe you're going to go.
So in the afterlife, we won't be together.
Well, on your deathbed, we'll initiate you as Wiccan.
No.
No, really, to be Wiccan, you have to. Hold on, I need air. I need air.
Okay. Dude, it's like 25 degrees outside and she's turning on the air conditioner.
But yes, it's always hot in this little room. What was I saying?
Something about Summerland.
Yeah, Summerland is like 70-degree weather every day, blue skies. It's like other people's heaven.
We used to live there.
Oh, Jacksonville.
Yeah, 75 degrees every day.
Yeah.
Blue skies. Yeah. Margaritaville.
But yeah, it's there's so much to it. The Wiccan religion. You have a lot of people there's a lot of ignorant people out there that when they hear Wiccan, they think because it sounds wicked, evil, Wicca, But
Well, hell, people think that just because we're paranormal investigators,
well, yeah.
Dude, you hunt for ghosts, you're like doing the devil's work. But I do the devil's work in other ways.
But
What?
with the Ten Commandments, they're more like if you don't do this, you're going to go to this place and burn in hell.
Right.
Whereas the Wiccan Read is more of advice. If you don't take the advice, it goes bad karma back on you. It doesn't say you have to do this, you have to do that. It just is more of advice, not you have to do this or.
That's kind of like the Hells Angels bylaws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. No, we got no viewers yet. I'm surprised. That's all right. I'll see it later. The more we keep doing this on a regular basis,
Yeah.
the more people will be like, oh, let's go see what Joe and Mystery are doing.
Yeah.
Which we should get back to calling you.
Mystery.
Mystery.
Yeah.
That was your name.
Yeah, everybody knew me by that name.
Yep.
What happened?
We left Florida.
Yeah. But yeah, so with the Wiccan religion, there's like different types of herbs. Herbs
Right.
mean different things, and we do our spells, we do our rituals.
Why don't you pick the computer up real quick and turn it over there and show everybody your altar?
Okay, I can do that.
It's going to take a second, but
Oh, yeah. This here, if you can see it, is my altar. That's Hecate. She's my goddess, right there. And then over here, I've actually got a quill that I use that I write with dove's blood ink to write my spells and rituals with. There's my, directional candles. Blue is west, green is north, earth, blue is west water, red is south fire, yellow is air, east. There's my goddess candle. And today I just bought a love goddess, which you can see right there. She's sitting down with a heart around her neck, if you can see it. And there's my owl in the back. My owl is my familiar. So yeah, this is my altar. Oh. Back over here. Oh. Alright. Oh.
I do have a big interest in it. I'm just, probably, I would say, too lazy to delve in it. But hey, if I got a good witch, if a good witch has my back, then I feel pretty secure. You know.
Another thing, a lot of people think that when we do spells, we're doing bad spells, which isn't true, because we have the Wiccan Reed, and ye harm none, do as ye will, which means that we won't harm anybody, or bad karma comes back on you 3 times worse. So if you do something to somebody, you'll get it 3 times worse in your lifetime here. There's none of this after you die. It's bad karma while you're still alive, which can be miserable. So you don't want to have a miserable life, then don't have bad karma, and don't do anything like that. I've had people come to me and ask, would you do a love spell for me? I can't. You can't. That's taking away a person's free will.
Right.
You know?
Because the person wants you to put the love spell on isn't open to it. It's like that would go against.
Right.
That would be kind of like stalking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or a forcible something.
Right.
Yeah.
Or to do a spell against somebody bad because they did something to somebody else.
Right.
There is, I have done spells for us and myself.
Right.
If I have to defend myself, like say, all right, for example, say we have a neighbor that's causing us problems and being mean and nasty and not doing right and treating, doing bad things against us, then I have every right to do a spell against them to defend myself.
That's in the freezer right now, right?
It's in the freezer right now, and she's gone, so I can throw that away.
Okay. Well, good. There you go.
So
It took some time,
but she's gone.
Yep.
So now I can take it out of the freezer. So.
And what's that spell sitting over there with the cork in the top of it? I remember you and Michelle did.
Oh, that's a blue
each
moon
did one.
ritual.
Right. Explain that.
Well, the blue moon ritual is you put all your hopes and dreams into a jar, and you can't open it for 3 years. So I can't open it, I believe, August 15th of 2015. I can open it and see, and then I pull everything out and see if all my wishes that I wanted to come true are on that list.
Right. But just like any other religion, like in the Christian religion, right, which is what I know, and I know well,
Yeah.
they say God won't do for you that which you won't do for yourself.
Right.
Which means if you don't do the footwork, like say you want wealth, you want prosperity, you want the nicest of the nicest things, you can't just sit around and pray and do spells and it's just gonna materialize. You actually got to do the legwork.
Right.
So like everything you put in there, I remember the night you and Michelle were sitting there making those.
Right.
But in order for any of those to come true, you actually gotta put forth the effort to make them come true. And the spiritual beings, the gods or the goddesses,
help us along.
will help you along the way, as long as you're putting forth an honest effort to make this come true.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So basically, the Wiccan religion is really no different than any other religion. It's just more appealing to your individual taste.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we don't have to worry about being threatened to be punished and burning in a place of fire. We don't have to worry. The God and the Goddess love us as their children, and they don't give us stipulations and tell us if you don't do this, you're going to go burn here. And that's the difference.
Right.
Well,
that's good.
So.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And we have our Sabbats. Sabbats are celebrations like summer solstice. Yule is like your Christmas. We call it Yule. That's December 21st.
I still find that is so funny that when it comes to Christmas, first off, okay, Jesus Christ, he was a man, he was born, he did live, that is proven fact, right? As far as all the other mumbo jumbo surrounding that, that's up to question, on what you believe in your faith. But he was a living individual. He wasn't born on December 25th.
He was born in June, right?
He was born in June.
But because of the holidays.
Right.
Too many holidays in 1 month, right?
Right. But all of the traditions and stuff that we follow for that, like the Christmas tree, the giving of gifts.
Chewing the cord.
The dog's chewing the computer cord. That seems to be our last dog did that too. All ties back to the Yule, which is a pagan holiday, going back to the Celtics in like 3 AD, you know?
Yeah. But like Easter, we call it Ostara, which is
What about today? Today's the first day of spring. And when I was watching Good Morning America this morning, they call it some kind of equinox.
Yeah, the spring equinox.
There was no spell for that? There was no blessing or nothing?
Yeah,
there's no caves around the world where the Mayans and everybody else put a little window in where the light would shine in and illuminate the whole room because it's one certain day?
Yeah, it's actually, it's a holiday. It's a Wiccan holiday. It's spring equinox. I didn't celebrate it today, so.
That's okay. We understand why.
Yeah.
Mama's not happy. When Mama's not happy, guess what? Nobody's happy. But Mama's gonna be happy real soon.
Yeah. Get that phone call.
Yep.
But same thing. Like Halloween is called Samhain. It's pronounced Samhain, but it's actually spelled Samhain. A lot of people don't understand. They say Samhain. It's not Samhain. It's Samhain, and that is Halloween. That is our New Year. That's when we celebrate the dead coming out for that one night, or families or friends, or just all the dead coming out. I actually do a Samhain ritual on that night, and I also ring a bell and name off all the people that were accused of being witches. So
didn't we investigate down in Florida on a Halloween night?
Yeah.
Didn't we go to Fernandina to the brothel or something?
Yeah.
And it's a confirmed haunted place. I mean, we've been there enough to know that the place is haunted. But on Halloween of the Samhain, the veil between the living and the dead is supposed to be at its thinnest, and it's easier for them to cross over to our side. I don't think we experienced any activity that night.
No, wasn't it the night we were goofing around with you guys?
Yeah, you played jokes on me. Dude, I'm sitting up, I'm in this place, right? And I'm doing all this stuff, right? I'm like, no holes barred, right? We've been to this place like 3 times, and I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna let it all out. So I go into the provoking mode, everything else, right? Because the time we were there previous, Tracy got scratched across the forehead, and we actually got a video of an apparition leaving me while I was doing a sort of exorcism on a demon that likes to show up every now and then when I'm doing things. And the guy that was filming us actually seen this apparition with his own eyes, not going back on film, but live with his own eyes. Yep. And it scratched Tracy across the head.
Right across my forehead.
So the next time we went back, I'm like, you know what? It's Halloween, no holes barred. And we're up in the same room where this event took place. So I'm like, hey, can you do this? You know, can you do this after me? So I knocked. I went, wait a couple of seconds. You know what we hear? We get the rest of it, right? And then I'm like, can you do this? You know, I whistle a little something. I hear whistling come back after a few seconds. Dude, now I've got the leader of the team we were with up there with me. I've got the guy that's doing the filming up there with us. Plus, I think Charles might have been up there too. And the owner of the team's son. We're all up there. Dude, we are all stoked. We're freaking. We're like, oh my God, we're getting the best evidence ever. No. You know what it was? This one, sitting on this staircase that goes to a dead end because they blocked off that entrance and they kind of reformed the building a little bit. So it's got a floor over it. It was her doing everything. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I haven't paid her back yet. But I said, one day. This is 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, payback's coming.
But
so what else on the old witchy poo stuff? What about your pendulum? What's the deal with that? Do you use the pendulum because you're Wiccan, or you use the pendulum because it's a metaphysical tool, like me with the dowsing rods.
All right.
You know, I'm a dowsing rod aficionado, I guess you'd call it. You know, that's
Right.
my claim to fame, is how I work dowsing rods.
Well, actually, I didn't start using the pendulum until I became Wiccan. I don't know why that was, but I have a moonstone pendulum, and what's good about moonstone is great for spirit communication. That's the best you can use. So if you ever want to use a pendulum and you want to use it to speak with spirits, get a moonstone one.
How would granite be? Because granite's one of the best conductors for spirit activity. Have you ever even
I never heard of that though. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be because like old places that are built on like into like granite mountains or whatever,
Right.
you know, granite is just like,
I don't know. All I know is moonstone is just for spirit activity. Each one's for a different thing. But
what, they got other ones?
yeah, you can get them in hematite. You can get them in turquoise. You can get them in quartz, crystal, amethyst. You can get them in any stone.
Actually, quartz is what I was thinking, not granite.
Oh, okay.
It is quartz. Quartz is, yeah. I don't know why I came up with granite, but it's quartz.
So.
You know what else quartz is good for?
Huh?
You know what else quartz is good for?
Vibrations.
Finding gold.
Oh, really?
Gold forms in quartz.
Yeah, I found a lot of iron pyrite, fool's gold, that has chunks of quartz in it.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen if you had like a big emerald. Remember I was telling the story? I found an emerald one time, about the size of a softball in North Carolina. I took it to a gemologist, and it wasn't worth crap. It would have cost more to have it cut up. What do you call it? Faceted, or what do you call it?
Faceted, lapidaried.
Yeah.
Cut, sliced, faceted.
Because she put it up to her light and looked at it, and the inclusions and the fractures and everything in it were so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was an emerald, but it was so bad that it was more black than emerald green, just with all the impurities and stuff in it. But if you had actual pure emerald, I wonder what that would do. You know? Because it's
rubies, diamond. I mean, rubies. I don't know.
Me either. You know, it's like with dowsing rods. I guess we're getting off the Wiccan topic, but you know, I'm a dowsing rod aficionado, I like to call myself. I've been playing with dowsing rods probably before I was riding bicycles, and I like going to like your Home Depot or Lowe's and just buying some copper rod, you know, number 8 copper, and I bang my own out, form them myself and whatnot. They're great, but I know people that have used brass, steel, aluminum, zinc, tin, pretty much any metal you can find. But the results always seem to be the same, you know, because no matter what, you're playing off the electromagnetic field. So, you know, with the rods. But when you're talking your pendulums, you're using rocks and minerals. You're not playing on things that, I mean, those rocks and minerals have nothing to do with magnetism.
I believe it is the spirit actually manipulates your nerves to make it go yes and no. That's what I think. Because after I'm done using the pendulum, my whole arm is like shaky for a little while. My whole body sometimes like gets like shaky and quivery even after I'm done using the pendulum. So I feel like it's the spirit itself manipulating the nerves in my hands to make it do that.
That could be. I don't know, but my answer to all that is one day we will all know. Because one day we're all going to be dead.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy that sits around and says, the day I die, I'm going to go hit up all my best ghost hunting friends, and I'm going to give them all the answers they're looking for. But I'm probably not the first one to ever say that.
Yeah.
So you probably don't have that kind of control.
I know.
It's just really weird.
Oh, you know, because like we were talking about last night, you know.
Dogs in the trash, hold on.
We were talking about last night about how we wish spirits could like be more talkative, but they probably don't have that energy to do that. That's why we get a lot of hays, no's, yay, yes, and goes, you know, more than we do sentences. And then when you get a full sentence, it's like, wow, you know.
Yeah. And those are far and few in between.
Yeah. It's like they have enough energy to say one word.
Yeah.
But- and I always wonder what it's like for them, like after they're dead, like, do they look at themselves? Can they see through themselves? You know, I always wonder that.
What was the investigation not long ago where I actually asked the question, do you guys get sick on your side? And do you feel pain?
And they said yes.
I said yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of odd, you know?
Yeah.
You're dead. You don't have a body. You don't have nerves.
Maybe they're talking about heartbreak.
Well, see, because heartbreak isn't physical. It's emotional.
Right.
So
I'm thinking heartbreak.
Probably. Yeah. I don't know. I do. I lay around sometimes and will ponder. I do it a lot at work because my mind's not going when I'm at work. I'm a maintenance guy. You know, I work at a senior citizens assisted living facility. I mainly deal with Alzheimer's patients and people with other forms of dementia. And I fix everything that's broke, basically. And I don't need a thought process to do that. I just do it. So my mind's always just spinning around and thinking weird things. And most of the time it's on, you know, spirits and what do they think? How do they feel? You know, do they have social gatherings? You know, like this Friday or next Friday, right? We're going over to Nicole and Jake's house, right? A case that we did. The clients invited us over for dinner. You know, that's a social gathering. Do spirits do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember you always used to say, I always wondered about this too. It's just, people used to say that they think that spirits know things, and you said no, they're just, how could they know anything? You know what I mean? They're not, if they weren't psychic when they were alive, why would they be psychic when they're dead?
Right.
Then you turn around and you see these psychics that, all right, Teresa Caputo, Long Island medium. We believe in her because she seems, so far as we know, legit, until we hear different.
Right.
But she actually, I've heard her tell people, I see a baby in the future, or they just told me that, you know, that you've got a birthday coming up. How do they, you know what I mean?
Well, if the spirit was sitting there talking to Teresa,
all right,
you know, okay, say I died, right? Say it's December 1st and I'm dead, you know, or however, or who's visiting Teresa, me or you?
You.
Me? Okay. I'm visiting Teresa. I'm going to a reading, right? And you're dead, and you made contact with her, right?
Right.
It's December 1st. It's November 15th. You know, it's whatever.
Right.
Right? And all of a sudden, Teresa looks at me and says, your birthday's on December 6th? Well, you could have told her that. Hey, to make Joe believe, tell him that his birthday is December 6th. Because you know that.
Right.
That's not a prediction. That's not,
right.
You know.
Okay, then there's shows I've seen where, like, people have been interviewed and they've said that they were warned about something that was going to happen and they found out later on that they saw the spirit of their aunt or their uncle, and they said if it wasn't for them, I would be dead right now because they saw it going to happen to me.
Oh, that's just dramatic, stupid crap.
So yeah.
You know. I mean, you don't want to admit it, or you won't admit it to people.
Right.
But if you actually took the time to figure out the gift you have and work on it and nurture it or whatever, you know, you have all those abilities. You can't see the future, but you know, and I don't think anybody can. I don't think that's
except
possible.
when I dream. If I
Except
dream,
when you dream. But they call that a prophetic dream?
Prophetic dream.
And what's prophetic? That's prophesizing. What's prophesizing? Seeing the future.
Right.
But that's very rare. You know, and I really don't see the Long Island medium really doing that. She comes up with off-the-wall, stupid, just out-of-the-blue shit that unless the spirit knew the person. She comes up. She looks at a client and
Right.
says things that only the most intimate people in their lives would know.
Right, like the turtle thing.
Right. Now, unless that show is scripted, which I do produce a TV show, and it would be easy to do. I could get you and Sean and Nancy and Michelle and whoever, you know, and just be like, hey, you know what? Let's act like strangers, you know, or even, and, you know, a customer from your restaurant or something, you know, hey, you know what? I want to make an entertaining show, so let's do this, you know, what's his name? Don, you know, act like you don't know us, and all of a sudden Tracy's going to tell you something about you, you know. But
Right.
I really, when she does her thing, and you see the reaction come across these people,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you can't fake that unless you're a seriously trained actor,
Yeah.
you know. So I really, you know, and just knowing you, I know that kind of thing is possible. Because God, we've been at so many locations. Dude, we was at this place here in town, you know, a private case. We're down in the basement of this house, and just out of the blue, Tracy says, "Why do I want to say peanut?"
Oh, yeah.
Right? The lady almost burst out in freaking tears, going, "Oh my God, that's what I call my son." Her son's alive, but
When he was a little boy, yeah.
yeah, I called him Peanut.
Yeah.
So why just out of the blue, for no reason, did Tracy say, "Why do I want to say Peanut?"
I know, I couldn't get
Yeah.
the peanut out of my head. I had to finally say it, you know. And sometimes I'll get a name or something weird, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah, but whenever you do say it, it
Yeah.
ends up being something. Just like at Nicole and Jake's house, you came up with
Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Right, right.
And all night long, these people are like, "No, it means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing." Right? We get home from the investigation. I don't know if it was later on
An
that
hour
night
later or something, maybe.
or something. All of a sudden, Nicole messages Tracy on Facebook, and what happened?
She says, oh, she goes, his father used to call his mother Jonesy. Her name was Joanne, but he used to call her, he had a special name for her, he would call her Jonesy. You know? Yeah, so.
Yeah, it happens. I would say 1 out of every 3 investigations we do, she pulls off something like that. You know?
It still amazes me too, you know, but
And I don't know, that's where I come from. We call that a medium. I wouldn't call it being a psychic,
yeah,
but you know, I don't believe in psychics because I think that's a Hollywood term created. But hold on, I'll see what's going on. The dog's whining. So keep the people entertained.
all right,
We lost that viewer.
yeah. Watch out, watch out. All right, nobody's in here. Smoke my cigarette. Gonna end the show here pretty soon because American Idol's coming on. Gotta watch our American Idol. Nobody's in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, I do the name thing quite a bit. It amazes me. I'm still like, wow, I can't believe, you know, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so it was a show about Wicca, and then it got changed over to a different topic, so we do all different topic. It's not just the paranormal all the time, just one subject. We always have paranormal talk in there, but we always talk about other things too. So,
What are you talking about now?
nothing. Talking to myself.
Oh,
But, I
Dog
was
is
trying to
whining.
think of when we were at Christy's house, and I came up, Christy,
down the street.
yep,
Okay.
and I came up with that name, and all of a sudden, Nancy, our team member, goes, "That was my dog's name. I had a dog name.
Oh,
once,
yeah.
remember?"
What was
But
the name, though? I can't remember the name.
Chi-Chi.
Was it?
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi?
Yeah. Yeah, I said, "Does Chi-Chi mean anything?" She's like, "Chi-Chi." And all of a sudden, Nancy goes, "Hey, I used to have a dog named Chi-Chi." I'm like, okay. But, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I do honestly think, and that you do have that gift. You were just never embraced it or tried to carry
I
on
was
with it or
busy
whatever.
growing up, raising kids,
Yeah.
working, you know.
You know, and this all has nothing to do with you being Wiccan either.
No.
This was like even
Long
before
that, yeah. Yeah.
So, no, it's pretty cool. You know, that's funny. When I lived in Cocoa Beach, down in Florida, and I was running the maintenance department for the Cocoa Beach Pier, we had, I don't know, 5 or 6 restaurants, 7 or 8 bars, shops, and everything. Well, in the mix to everything on this big boardwalk and pier going over the ocean, there was a psychic. You know, your classic, like you'd see on TV.
Right.
You know,
General.
You
Generalization.
go through the curtain and the gypsy lady sitting there
tall,
with the crystal
dark,
ball.
handsome
You know,
man,
I mean, she was one of them. I mean, total strict one of them. And it was all strictly commercial, you know, to take tourist money and stuff. Well, I remember one day I was standing down at the base of the pier, and she was probably like 6 shops up, within like talking loud distance. I would be like, "Hey Joe, could you like go get me something?" You know, and if I was down there, I could hear it. I'd be like, "Yeah, not a problem." I think her name was Sylvia. You know, I'll be there in a minute with it or whatnot. Well, one day I'm standing down there. Actually, it's down where the valet parking booth was, and Cocoa Beach cops used to stay in our parking lot all the time. So the valet booth was like a good place to hang out. You could lean on the, you know, stand there, smoke cigarettes, talk to the cops, talk to the people coming up, whatever. So I'm standing there. All of a sudden I hear Joe. I look up and it was the psychic. I think her name was Sylvia. I can't remember. This is, God, 15 years ago, you know, maybe more. But she goes, "Do you know what time it is?" Guess what I said?
What?
Turned around and I looked at her and I said, "You're the psychic, you tell me." Dude, she was pissed. She went off. "It's not a joke. It's nothing to be played with." I'm like, "No, I don't know. Hey, you know, now is it? Yeah, it's 3:15.
You know, now I think about it, about 30 years ago, I think I was pregnant with my oldest, Valerie. She's 29 now. But we had a friend of the family whose mother used to do a radio show out of Yakima, Washington. Every week she would do a radio show. She was a psychic.
Okay.
And since we were friends with her daughter at the time, she actually read me and the kids' father one time. And she did tell us I was going to have 2 girls and a boy, and she sees us somewhere in Montana or Canada. And you know what? I had 2 girls and a boy, and we ended up living in Montana for a while.
You lived in Montana? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fucking orbs back. I hate orbs.
We were up there
Damn
rock
pesky
hunting
piece
for
of shit.
agates.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, looking for moss agates up in Montana.
If I went to Montana, I'd have to go up to Snake River and look for parts of Evel Knievel's canyon jumping rocket.
Forsyth. It was a little town. That's where my son Dustin was born.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been out there. Furthest west I've ever been is Henderson for a day and a half, Nevada, and actually got to see the back of the Goldfield Hotel for 10 minutes and a dude's living room. But besides that, to actually spend time, the furthest west I've ever been is Wichita Falls, Texas. I was there for 6 months. It sucked. There was nothing there.
Montana, the people are amazing. Oh my God, amazing. We lived in Montana, and Forsyth, Montana, and at the time, the kid's dad was working for a farmer named Kim, and he was dried beet farmer, and he was out there doing the sugar beets. Sugar beets are big out there. So he was doing sugar beets, and we lived like 4 or 5 miles from town. And one day we had all the kids with us. Well, all the kids, Brittany or Valerie, and I was pregnant with Dustin. We had the kids, and we were driving to town to get groceries. Our car broke down, right? We were maybe a mile out of town, getting into town. We still had 3 miles to go. These people were coming in opposite direction. Didn't know us from Adam. They gave us a ride to the freaking grocery store, waited for us to shop for groceries, brought us home. The next day we wake up in the morning and they towed our car into our driveway for us. in Montana.
I would figure out there that would be more like a scene out of Devil's Rejects, a house of a thousand corpses, so the hills have eyes.
No.
Or, no? Nice people out there, huh?
Awesome people. Then one
You
time...
want to settle out there?
Oh, I loved Montana.
Huh?
One time we were actually...
If I moved out there, I'd have to get a metal detector.
Actually, I was pregnant and I was carrying Valerie.
How many times have you been pregnant?
This is still the same story.
Oh, okay.
We're still in Montana.
Had me worried.
Walking down the street, I was walking to town with the kids, right? Because I needed to go get some milk or whatever. I had Valerie on my hip, big old belly, walking down the street. All of a sudden, a police officer, Montana cop from town, was driving this direction, turns around, says, "Ma'am, would you like a ride?" And I said, "Oh, I gotta go to town and get some milk and some stuff, you know." "Well, I'll give you a ride." The cop takes me to the store, waits for me, and brings me back home. I mean, the people out there are just incredible.
What did he charge you?
Not a dime.
Nothing?
No.
Did he hit on you?
No.
No?
No.
You did? That wouldn't happen here.
It's like so different. The night
Oh my
people
God.
are so different.
I'm sitting in the break room today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reading the paper. The 7-Eleven right down the street.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the one right here that
Right,
we
right.
walk to all the time.
Right.
It got robbed last night and the night before.
Wow. How dumb is that? Robbed the same place. Was it the same person?
They found a knife down on East of Rodney French that they believed was used in the robbery. They don't know if it was the same person or not.
Huh.
But yeah, that's where we live.
Yeah, we need to get out of here. But another thing too that's in Montana is bars never close. You could take your kids in the bar with you, but they had to be out by 9 o'clock. So that was that caused a lot of stopped a lot of problems with married couples, because the women always have to stay home with the babies while the men went out and had their fun drinking, and it actually helped with marriages, because the wife could actually go and take the kids too, you know, play pool, whatever, while your kids are there in the bar with the husband, and you could, you know, it was just amazing. They never closed. The bars never closed. Just like in Nevada, they never closed, you know.
I remember when I lived in Miami.
Which I don't care now. I hate bars, but go ahead.
When I lived in Miami, the bars would close at 5 a.m.
Oh.
Long enough to do a cash drawer change and to clean, and then they'd open right back up.
Huh.
Yeah. It was tough.
In a little town in Nevada I lived in.
Guys, the pasta and dinner's ready.
All right.
Okay. Dinner's ready.
Yeah. But the little town of Austin, Nevada, the same thing. They never closed. And then the miners would get off of work like at 4 in the morning, and you could take their dog in the bar with you. The dog would sit next to you, you know, while you're in the stool having a beer, like the old, you know, days in the Western days.
Yeah.
They brought the dog in the bar. And,
Or remember when we were in Jacksonville? We brought our dog
well,
in
yeah.
the bar. But
All right. Well, you know what? It's 10 to 8. American Idol's getting ready to start, and eat some spaghetti.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, if you watch this show later, leave a comment. Let us know if you like the show.
Yeah, I'm Joe Paranormal. This is Mystery X. And we are the owners of the New Bedford Paranormal Society up here in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And give us a shout.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Bye.